Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making my coffee bean soap. This soap has a new scent and a new design and I am really excited about it. You guys can get your hands on it on October 16th. Also, just a heads up, our October moon soap, which will be next week's video, is available on October 17th. And our barbershop and lemon poppy seed soap are already available and ready to ship in the Etsy shop, so go check it out. Let's go ahead and make the soap. I'm going to start this soap by mixing my hard oils into my liquid oils, and then I will pour my lye water solution down the neck of my stick blender. I know I said in my previous video that when I pour the lye water down the neck of my stick blender, it doesn't matter if any of those crystals get into my soap because the stick blender will break them up. But I have noticed in the past couple soaps I've made in comparison to my barbershop soap, they have some freckles in them, and I'm wondering if that is part of the lye water solution that isn't actually being broken up all the way. So I think in my next couple soaps I am going to try to strain them again and see if that makes a difference. I am going to split off about 1/5 of my soap into a small container, and that will be the top portion, which is essentially supposed to be some milk or foam on top of your coffee. The fragrance oil that I'm using for this soap is the chocolate espresso fragrance oil from Brambleberry, and I'm only mixing this into the larger portion of my soap because it does say that it discolors, and I don't want it to discolor that white at all. So I went ahead and mixed that in with some coffee grounds. So this bottom portion of the soap will essentially be the coffee portion, and it will have coffee grounds in there as a nice exfoliant. The top portion of this soap, like I said, I want it to be nice and white like milk or froth. So I went ahead and dyed that with some titanium dioxide. And I used quite a bit of titanium dioxide because I really wanted it to be nice and white. Now that I've mixed my white with my stick blender, I can go ahead and mix some brown mica into my larger portion of soap. The mica that I'm using for this portion is Mocha Brown from Nurture Soap. And then my soap at this point did get a little bit thick. This fragrance oil does accelerate trace a little bit. And I'm learning that with my soap, I need to not stick blend it as much because my soaps have been getting pretty thick on me. So I want to go ahead and try to not stick blend them as much in the future so that I can pour them in and get a much smoother layer to my soap. And then right on top of that base layer, I'm going to put my white. And like I said, these soaps are pretty thick at this point, so I'm not really needing to break the fall. Also, if this white kind of dips into the brown a little bit, that's okay, because it'll just make it look more like a cup of coffee. I'm just gonna smooth this white out. I did do this quite a bit because I really wanted it to be nice and smooth on top so that the texture that I put in kind of stood out. And unfortunately, since my soap was so thick, it's hard to smooth it with the spatula. So it did take me quite a bit to get this to a point where I liked it. So the texture that I'm putting on top is some lines, and I'm using just a plastic fork to do this. I'm not going all the way across the soap because I am going to just add some coffee beans to the other side. I wanted to keep this top really simple, but I still wanted it to have some sort of fun element on top. So with the coffee beans, I'm just marking with a dry erase marker on my silicone mold about 1 inch apart. That way, when I go to cut these, I don't have to worry about my coffee beans being in the way in terms of the measurements of my bar. Once we cut into these soaps, I was actually really pleased with the way they turned out. The fragrance oil did discolor a little bit more, which actually helped. It just made it a really rich, deep brown. I think that adding that mica was fine, and I'm glad that I did it, but I think it discolored quite a bit that I probably didn't need to add the mica in the first place. I'm really happy with these. I think that the chocolate espresso fragrance oil is a little bit strong, so in the future I might use a different fragrance oil. This bar of soap and the lemon poppy seed, I'm kind of working on remaking them, and they're not exactly where I want them to be. So I think that those, as I continue to make different batches of it and using different fragrance oils, I will tweak them and get them to the exact spot where I want them. But these bars I think look great and they smell really good. They're just very chocolatey. All right, here it is. This is our coffee bean soap. As you can see, it did get really dark over time, and you can see on this soap some of the speckling within it. I am gonna try and go ahead and get rid of that with my next couple soaps by straining my lye water solution. So I am really pleased with how this turned out. Like I said, the scent is really strong. It's very chocolatey. So I am going to try and tweak that in the future, try and get it back to more of a coffee scent. But for now, I'm really pleased with how this came out, and I hope you guys like it. So go ahead and head over to Etsy so you can get your hands on any of these new soaps, and like and subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.